Al pie del Ávila majestuoso, a 920 metros sobre el nivel del mar, en un valle de verde geografía que se abre de este a oeste, surge Caracas, la capital de Venezuela.
And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
Go get some!
What's going on, fellas? My name is Rafael Chasinas, known as El Capitán Rafucho, and welcome to another episode of Straight Outta Nation. Because this ain't just the Raiders podcast. It is a war room, not only for football and basketball, but also it is a war room for soccer. Yeah, because right now we're gonna deal something about for the Nets Mounds. Because I understand that April gonna be the draft, also the G-Day coming up there for some college football teams, and of course, when it comes to UEFA Champions League in May, and of course, the FIFA World Cup is gonna be on June, July. United States, Mexico, and Canada. I just want to tell you. How you guys feeling this Friday, y'all? It is right. In this episode, I'm going to talk about what's going to be needed for Las Vegas Raiders from the 2026 NFL Draft. And I promise it's not going to be something like risky or biased, coming at things like that. But hey, we're getting involved like that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, make sure to subscribe to Capitán Rafucho on YouTube. Also, you can follow me on different social media. On Instagram, Kick, TikTok, and Twitch at Capitán Rafucho 93. And if you want to help and support this stream, this platform, you can make a donation by Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. All financial help is welcome. Yeah? You know about the drill, about the cha-ching coming out there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we needed for Las Vegas Raiders during for the 2026 NFL Draft, and of course, the 2026-2027 season for the National Football Team. Now, I know that some people, a lot of people, they need quarterback who fit the system of Clint Kubiak. We all know first pick is going to be Fernando Mendoza for Indiana. Indiana Hoosiers. But I just wanted to tell you, I won't surprise the entire world about my picks for the draft, because not only we need a quarterback, but also we need right tackle, guard, all the offensive line, wide receiver, because we're truly indeed to enforce the system coming out there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, right now, I'm going to choose what are my picks the 2026 draft, if they really fits at all. My first option is Monroe Fielding, offensive, defensive lineman for University of Georgia. And I'm going to tell you for this right now. What it could be a great fit. It's very good, but it's going to be a risky fit for Las Vegas Raiders. It's going to be high upside, but depends heavily on timing, coaching, and the roster plan. So let's think about the side strengths. He has a smooth footwork, mirrors edge rushes very well, excellent in space, strong seams, screen pulls. He had a high ceiling potential Pro Bowl left tackle. Yep, I know he's a left tackle, but he got it all. But also we got some weakness coming out there. He needs too power. He needs more. He plays too uptight. And his balance and technique has become, well, very consistently right now. Because I'm going to tell you for my pick, which is Monroe Feeling, an offensive lineman from the University of Georgia, as known as the Georgia Bulldogs. Go Dogs! Shout out to my brother Ryan, representing the Georgia Bulldogs. Yep. And to be honest right now, why is a good fit? Because to be honest right now, Monroe Freeling by Georgia is too perfect for mother-son schemes. I mean, the mobility and ability in space is very ideal for the outside zone, play action rollout systems. That could be a line where NFL offense and likely Las Vegas Raiders are really coming because he's a true left tackle upside. He's one of the few natural prospects in this class. And the Raiders don't just need depth, they need a franchise protector. And Monroe Freeling gives that ceiling. And they're going to protect the young quarterback. If the Raiders can develop or draft a quarterback, Monroe's Freeling pass protection athleticism helps versus speed rushes. They're going to be very good, along with Brock Bowers, which is a tight end. And of course, they have Max Crosby and can the ball into a blind side anchor. Now, a lot of people think that it's going to be a good or a bad fit for Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah. But check this out, because I just learned about the information. And trust me, I know about film studying, but I know that might need immediately help because some people told that Monroe Freely is not plug and play like yet because I understand they have technique issues. If Las Vegas Raiders want instant offensive line stability, it's risky. But of course, it's skinny out the trust like boom or bust profile because he'll be like at a top 10 left tackle, average, unstable starter, but they need to depend on coaching staff. Because what we need is strong offensive line coach, develop a time, and when it comes to bad coaching equals to wasted pick. Because I believe if they're gonna pick Monroe Freeling or the University of Georgia, they're gonna be a good fit. They can invest in online coaching. They can lay with year one inconsistently. They're rebuilding. I just want to tell you, I wanted to call out a good fit, but stand on the fact because he's a swing for the fences big. The ceiling, he's a franchise left tackle, which is really perfect for the corner store. And for me, he has to improve with his constant starter due for the technique, which I guarantee it all. And he brings one of the most intriguing athlete profiles of the offensive tackle, and they have very clearly at all. I mean, Freely is 6'7". Yeah, I'm not talking about like the social media coming up there. He's 350-pound left tackle with athletic testing numbers by his size because he has quick feet, fluid hips, mirrored the speed rushers. And for me, he needs to improve more power to handle bull rushers consistently. And I know they're really established about right tackle, interior offensive line, and Freely has played almost exclusively at this position, left tackle. But he translates to clearly either tackle the spot or the zone heavy system. But he has a high intense pass protection upside, which is very ideal for protecting a young franchise quarterback like Fernando Mendoza. But I think that he needs to get improved the positional need fit. But I know this is going to be like an option for right tackle. For the left tackle is very possible, a lesser chance. But I think if they want to a long-term athletic bookend tackle who can grow with a young quarterback like Fernando Mendoza or a veteran, he's not like the most powerful lineman, but his movement, his skills, length, and pass pro upside make him exactly the type of the tackle mother offense covets. And I will tell you, this is gonna be anything. This is gonna be anything for all. All right, so I know that my choice is Monroe Feeling from the University of Georgia. Hey, how's it going, chat? Salute to you. And of course, my brother from another mother, AO5 Raider. What's good, Raf? Have a great life, brother. Salute to AO5 Raider, my brother from another mother. Check out AO5 with his Raiders War Room, along with my brothers, Severe Raider, Protect the Shield. Yes, it is. Everyone hit the thumbs up. All right, so I got another favorite coming up there in needs for Las Vegas Raiders for the 2026, 2027 season. Now, I just wanted to tell you this right here will be like something good, something bad, but here it goes right now. All right, so my another favorite coming up there, linebacker for Texas Tech Raiders, Jacob Rodriguez. Now, this right here, I know it's gonna be really risky at all, but he brings like most unique linebacker profiles in that class because he's highlighted like multiple scouting reports. He blends with instinct, turnover creation, leadership, and what we need to do is because we're lacking at the second level. It could be like a good fit. Well, to be honest, right now, it seems like everything. But at this point right now, he's from Texas Tech. But it's gonna be a good value fit, but it's not gonna be a perfect one. He's like more that day-two glue guy playmaker because that a corner store defensive piece. And I will tell you for this right now, this one could be shock everything else because we got some strengths coming up there. And there you go right now. Strengths. He's a turnover machine, Eli instincts, leadership, and of course, side to sideline range moto, very good, and sun coverage for a linebacker. And we had some weakness. Undersized for a true Mike linebacker, miss tackles, over pursuit issues, not a stacking shape physical enforcer, like it to limit coverage with a linebacker role. Is a playmaker, more instance, that means like he's lacking for size and power, but it seems like he has to do everything would happen. Hey, how's it going, Del Holland? Let's go, Capitán. Good to see you, man. Good to see you too, Del Holland. As part of the 302 Birds. Now, between four, Jacob Rodriguez on Texas Tech. I know that he's a mother linebacker for today's NFL. And also, we, Las Vegas Raiders, like most teams, need coverage linebackers, speed versus spread offense. And Rodriguez, he flows in space. He's play fast, there's short passing lanes, and that's what we needed, what defense prioritized now. He's a playmaker, turnovers. Raiders need that. They need that because he has 7 forces fumbled this season, multiple interceptions. He's just not the check. He create chaos, which is definitely fits really perfect along with Max Crosby. If it's a defense built around playmakers, it's a great deal to pick. I mean, likely like second, 4 round page. I mean, this is like a type of high production, low risk value that will love for that team. And of course, he has a sheen versatility. Can play will, linebacker, can be used as sub packages, blitz, cover, spy quarterbacks. He fits a flexible defensive system. But here's a catch. Here's a catch right now. He's not like a true mind linebacker because their biggest need is a linebacker. He's going to be a physical leader on the middle. And Rodriguez doesn't have ideal size length and struggle at taking on blockers. He's not going to be like the defensive anchor coming up there. And he also had tackling consistent inches. Missed tackles, aggressive angles, not a good thing. In the NFL, that turns into explosive plays allowed, frustrating inconsistency, and the ceiling might be limited. Unlike someone is a first-round linebacker, he's probably not a superstar. More like very good starter, role player. But if he really fits with Las Vegas Raiders, they already have or drafted true Mike linebacker. They want speed, playmaking a will, and they're drafting for depth. upside of the day 2 and 3. But some people that say, oh, there's going to be like a bad fit because they wanted to expect to be like the defensive quarterback and leader. But could be like a better fit because the ceiling is a playmaking starting will linebacker, just like the type of Matt Milano. And as a rotational linebacker with the floor, special teams, so package player. Could be anything right, could be anything wrong, but I think that his allied diagnostic ability and football IQ, it's up to the roof right now. It is very ideal for the Raiders front, but he needs to get improved about what's happening between NFL linemen versus undersize. And I love his high impact, high motor defender with leadership traits, but I believe he's one of the best linebacker fits in the entire class. Leadership, instincts, turnover creation. I mean, even it's not like a prototypal size high player, but yeah, I think this is happening for a long, but seems like they're gonna happen a lot of time. And I love it. I just really, really love it at all. But also, what I was talking about, Raiders need like more defense because not only we taking care of the quarterback, but also we need offensive, we need defense. Also, I just told earlier what I choose, which is Marlon Freeling, which is offensive lineman for the Georgia Bulldogs, and then Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And I just show up the strengths, I just show the weakness. I mean, there could be anything wrong or everything bad. All right, so my next choice, and I have like only 2 images coming up there because I know that I was going for work coming up there, but yes. But here's my other choice to draft at the 2026 NFL draft for Las Vegas Raiders. And here's the thing. I want the right receiver. A wide receiver who really clears how to really help with Trey Tucker. I just wanted to tell you, there was one name that rings the bell coming up there. Amari Cooper Jr. for Ohio State Buckeyes. Because you know why? Good or could be everything bad? Because he has an elite yards after catch ability and he runs like a running back. Strong hands, catches in traffic, excellent short, immediately road runner, physical, tough, competitive receiver. But there's a catch. He's not like a true deep burner, vertical separator. He has a limited size, smaller catch warriors, production inflated by screens, sheen touches, but it's like more than a slot wide receiver, not a true wide receiver number 1. He has a high floor playmaker, but he doesn't make a very dominant number 1 receiver. But I will tell you why. He could be really perfect for Las Vegas Raiders to Amari Cooper Jr. He's a perfect mother offense weapon. He thrives on screens, slants, crossers, yards after catch opportunities, and that's exactly what our offense used to. Help young quarterbacks. Yep, help young quarterbacks and create easy yards coming out there. But it's going to be great to draft a young quarterback that's going to be like a real buzz about pairing his college quarterback, which is they have the Indiana connection. But what does that really matters? What does that really matters for us? Instant chemistry, building timing and strong roots. For rebuilding offense, that's going to be really huge. And he's very polished. Really, really polished to play early, but doesn't need years to development. I mean, compare someone to one of the other athletes like Jacob Rodriguez, Monroe Freeling, Cooper hails faster, and he brings toughness and intensity, great tackles, play physical. That fits for a Raiders offense that it needs great attitude. Well, simply to say, oh, we don't want to draft Omar Cooper Jr., we don't want to draft Carnell Tate for Ohio State. But check this out about this, folks. Some people not getting the idea because Omar Cooper Jr. from Ohio State Buckeyes is not a true wide receiver 1. Carnell Tate doesn't, because he's like a more slug, not a consistent deep threat. And he depends for the sheen production. A lot of this college, he used screens, short routes, sand touches. If Las Vegas Raiders do not just wanted to decide, the touches can really impact draft significantly. And he has a limited ceiling compared to the top wide receivers. He's not a freak athlete, a size mismatch. I mean, he's a solid starter, but doesn't now be like a superstar coming up there. Not at all. But he gonna be really fit at all for the wide receiver room. They're gonna be the best role for him. He's a slow wide receiver, motion weapon. Thinking about it. Shane mover, explosive underneath threat equals perfection. Perfection. Because I just wanted to tell you, he's just like a plug and play offense, but not a franchise wide receiver. Why did I to put it on this right now? Because to be honest, right now, that's very valuable. And I can really stick it off for like the comparisons coming up there, because I know there's some people that just wanted to draft the true wide receiver one, which is Carnell Tate from Ohio State. Because I gotta tell you for this right now, between this, they really need a wide receiver number one. They really need it. They really need separation, ability for a young quarterback, playmaking, yards after catch, and they're gonna find who's gonna be the guy who really fits at the sheen right now. But there's gonna be so much interesting coming up there. But some people that just wanted to hit them all with Carnell Tate. Now, Carnell Tate could be something like a true alpha wide receiver number. Could be the best fit over here. But some people don't get it wrong about this, because I understand that's gonna be drafted at the first round. Believe me, if I'm wrong right now. But I don't think it's gonna be drafted at the first round, because I know that some people don't get it really bad. But if they're gonna draft Carnell Tate for Ohio State Buckeyes, is a true wide receiver profile. He has a light route running separation. He can play outside, inside, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. He solves Las Vegas Raiders' biggest problem instantly, which is the route. And of course, after all these years of waiting and waiting, we don't have like a true wide receiver. I mean, he could be like day one starter. He's a quarterback friendly and carrying an offense, and he's a smooth technician. Just like, for example, if you guys remember Amari Cooper, he's got the time coming up there. He's got the time. Now, also, we got another comment for AO5 Raider. Ted Hurst from Georgia State could be a good day to option a wide receiver. Now, this right here, I just want to tell you, they're going to be a great fit at all. I really want to, because I know there's some people that say, Omar Cooper Jr., Carnell Tate, but between for Ted Hurst, I mean, it rings the bell coming up there. Like it's a good fit enough, but I just wanted to tell you, this right here, it's just like, man, could be anything wrong. But he's very solid, but he's very situational. Good value pick, not a priority need. Because it's just like more than day 2, 3 upside swing, but he has a light size plus speed combo, which is really weird. The franchise and of course the organization. Vertical threat, 20-yard plays, deep tracking ability, which is very, very good for a wide receiver. He has explosive athlete, good ball tracking, back shoulder ability, but they're gonna give Raiders something that they lacking for seasons. It is gonna be 2 words: vertical explosiveness. And Ted Hurst, you mentioned Ted Hurst, and thank you AO5 Raider for everything, but why he's going to be like a good fit, Ted Hurst, from Georgia State. Deep speed, big playability, Phil Strange presence. He creates space underneath and helps a young quarterback take easier shots. He's very hybrid with the X and Z. He can play outside, run zone threat. He's mismatched versus smaller defensive backs. Could be everything right? Everything. But I think the floor of Ted Hurst is very low. Could be like very situational. But between photo like this right now, his role is very deep threat. And unlike other the wide receivers coming up there for Cardinal Tate, he's a true wide receiver number one. Casey Concession is a weapon. Omar Cooper Jr. is a slaw wide receiver number two. And Ted Hurst, I mean, he has a deep threat. But most of the people, they know, most people, they don't know that Ted Hurst has higher upside than Cooper, but most reliable. It's very ideal. Deep threat, vertical Z, rotational side receiver, but he's a good fit for Las Vegas Raiders, but only in the right role. Draft him is going to be at the round number 2 and number 3 because we already have a wide receiver number 1, which, as a matter of fact, I don't think is going to be working. But if the people want upside in explosiveness, they're going to be everything. It's just like, and I just wanted to tell you, that Hurst, he represents the classic Raiders type gamble, right? Speed, a playability, no consistency. But he's a smart complementary piece, not a solution. But I really think there's gonna be like a good enough fit for every reason at all. And I'm just telling to everybody else. I was just like, man, there's an athlete coming out there, but precisely for everything about it. But you know, it just became something like very risky, but not a bad thing. Nope, just not a bad thing right now. But I understand that we need to get involved with the more wide receivers, but also there are some positions that we really need, which is right tackle, guard. I mean, you can go for like the special teams coming out there, special teams. Not really exactly what we needed for, but yeah, I think that we should go for like to improve. Not only the biggest need is the quarterback, which is very important, really, really important. But also, we need more the defensive, more offensive. I mean, right tackle, guard, right receiver. I mean, they're going to be everything wrong, but it's kind of like really think that we should have had to do anything else. Because, like I said it before, I mean, Ron Freely from Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, the conversation around the stars with the end of the zone blocking, I mean, the movement skills are like the selling point. And I'm telling you for everything. And also, there is another athlete that basically it doesn't have like much had to do with everything else. But here's the thing. I mean, there is one guy from Florida Gators, which is definitely good. And I remember this name coming up there. Oh, yes. Austin Barber. Oh, yes. There's Austin Barber, which I know that it could be something like that. But he's offensive tackle. Florida Gators. Offensive tackle, left and right. And he has a good movement skills. If it's some blocking outside and side shown. Yep. Outside shown schemes, which release rocks and lateral agility. But here's a catch. He has very inconsistently in pass protection. More like a dependent upon athlete. More like the project starter than an instant and light tackle. And he can push back to loosen the ground the ball, all the bull rush. But to be honest, right now, between Austin Barber for Florida Gators, he's just like a zone blocking friendly traits. His movement skills, lateral agility, and he reached the defense with a zone oriented offensive line philosophy. I mean, so many teams. I mean, he can play either tackle spot or potentially slide inside of the guard if they need it. They use full roster flexibility and depth. And maybe it's gonna be like a good fit or not a good fit because he's not like a plug and play for immediate quarterback protection. If we want to draft a young quarterback, we need like improving up front. And Austin Barber's preparations could be like something like Liberty 80. But if you're going to guitar true long-term bootcamp tackle, which is a franchise left tackle, Barber is more like development starter than a blue chip venture. Could be everything. I mean, he's a good fit for a development tackle, but especially if they're going to build depth playing for future line stability. Could be everything wrong, could be everything right. But man, I don't know what's going to happen because I know there is a lot of athletes, which is defensive tackle. And they have Francis Miguel for University of Miami. Also, they got Spencer Fano, Kevin Proctor, Marmara Freeling, and also they have Blake Miller. Yep, they have Blake Miller. But I really think that if we need something to take care about the wide receiver, and of course all the positions that we need it for, because well, we have the quarterback, which is the prototype coming out there. But I know that the wide receiver room could be like something very great, but also not that very great at all. Here's another comment for AO Fire Raider. I'm a Gator fan. Barber has a lot of potential as a run blocker. Definitely needs work in the pass protection. Could be a good late run shit. I'm not gonna lie for this. I'm not gonna lie for this. But here's the best case for Austin Barber for Florida Gators. He's a reliable starter that's shown sheen with improved pass sets, but he really needs coaching and strength refinement to maximize the NFL impact. Because I understand that he's going to be like a project or maybe depending on poll, but could be like a good fit or a bad fit. But it's stand like this right now. I mean, Austin Barber, he builds it up. And we need something like really powerful to take care of, like offensive tackle, right and left tackle. But it seems like he really fits long-term offensive line needs. But his combination of size, experience, they make it like a good fit with clear understanding what role he projects early in that career. And I know he sits 300 pounds tackle with strong lower body power, and he has extensive as experience, logging 47 career games and over 2,700 snaps, mostly at the left tackle with early career reps and at the right. I mean, that should be really enough for this. And boy, it's gonna be making insane for everything. But I know his size is about explosiveness, but also they had need to improvement because he has a mediocre range in pass protection, which is making vulnerable for high speed rushers. And those issues can we suggest could be early as a right tackle or even a guard, just like in the case of Jackson Powers Johnson. I mean, if we really need to involve a long-term right tackle, tap competition and guard, physical run blockers to support a rookie quarterback, I think that Austin Barber for Florida Gators could be the right guy. And he has a run blocking strength. They really match the Raiders' desire to build a physical integrity. And his versatility gives him immediate value as a swing tackle, also guard protection aligns for the team interior needs. He has experience, composure, help to stabilize a young defense. But some people to say it's not going to be like a good fit. But I understand because I was watching the film study. And for me, I mean, he's now like the elite athlete with some heavy system perfect at tackle. He could have taken a year before becoming a reliable full-time starter because he has to really improve about the shin fit. He's very strong to mid strong shins, but he's very adequate and wide zone. But especially if we need it, they're gonna be a good fit. Especially if we need to like right tackle a guard that can grow for like a long-term starter, which is his power, experience, run blocking ability with the team's identity, while the technical inconsistencies are accountable within a durable timeline. But I know he has a high flower physical limit with started upside, but it seems like they need to get improved with a lot of things more. Because not only we can take care about the quarterback, but also the receiver, the offensive line, defensive line. Because I believe if we need to get build a lot of pieces coming up there. Because why did I tell about Monroe Freeland, Omar Cooper Jr., also there's Jacob Rodriguez? Because check this out. They really need the higher upside coming up there, but we need something to prospect to coming up together. And I understand that we need like a true wide receiver number one, but it's not gonna be really easy at all. Because I know there's gonna be something about like the prospects coming out there, but I just wanted to see like the value coming up there. Most of the people, they don't have like the superstar accurate right now. But some people that say it doesn't have like the size, the lens coming up there. But why would we do everything that's about to this right now? If they really want. Because not only I really want Monroe Freeling or Austin Barber, because here's a comparison between Austin Barber versus Monroe Freeling. Measurables and experience. Austin Barber, he's from Florida, playing for the Florida Gators. Monroe Freeling for the Georgia Bulldogs. Barber, he's more like experience and polish versus real competition. And Monroe Freeling is more higher ceiling, but more raw. And Austin Barber could be like run blocking strength, no physicality among the defenders. Monroe Freeling has fluid lateral movement. It is very good for modern edge rushers. His very rare athletic profile. He needs really refinement with the raw technique. And Barber, he's just like a stronger run game fit, more reliable as a day one blocker. And Freeling has a higher long-term pass protection upside if it goes right. Because what we need it for? What we need it for? Because first and foremost, they wanted to protect the likely young quarterback, establish a balanced run game, they build the offensive line depth while not sacrificing immediately production. Because if we wanted to choose Austin Barber for Florida Gators, they want the day two starter who can help the run game early. And they value with experience and constantly. And they want to tackle who plays now without much physical risk. But if they gotta choose Monroe Freeling from Georgia, they're willing to devote the potential franchise left tackle. They're really comfortable about raw rates and coaching investment. They want to prioritize pass retention and upside over early polish. But I think that Barber could be like something like a safer pick for the round number two, more like polish. And Freeling is a higher ceiling, higher risk tackle. He'll become like a long-term blind protector who needs coaching and refinement. So we shouldn't do all about it. Could be like the best fit coming out there, but both can't fit for Las Vegas Raiders between Austin Barber and Monroe Freeling because they give the most dependable early impact and the biggest future upside. Could be everything wrong, could be everything right, but that's gonna be the thing that I needed for for Las Vegas Raiders of the NFL Draft 2026. Because I understand they want to draft Fernando Mendoza for the Indiana Hoosiers. And I'm really part of that. Because I just really want the young quarterback, which is Fernando Mendoza. But also we need wide receiver, we need offensive, we need defensive, because we're about to like clean out the house. Clean up the house. And of course, leave all the bad things all over for, I don't know, for a season, because we need to get improved right now. Because not only we have the coach, but also we need a quarterback, we need wide receiver, we need offensive line, right tackle, guard, safety, linebacker. Well, tight end, we just have one. Running back, we just have one, which is Aston Genty and Brock Bowers. But we need like a wide receiver, because during for this right now, I think that the most probably between for the wide receiver room, it's became like a really nightmare, because in the depth chart that I just wanted to like, I don't know whether to show them right now, because they had Thunter Jr., the second wide receiver, and the starter is Trey Tucker. The third one is Philly Dorsett second. Could be everything wrong, could be everything bad, but maybe if we can do something about like this right now. But I think they're gonna be really lacking about a true wide receiver. But I really think that this is gonna be something like very, very powerful, because I just really need to know how to do it like this. Because why? Because our receiver room, we don't have a true wide receiver one. Sorry, Trey Tucker, because I mean, Jack Badge, Trey Tucker, Naylor, rotational pieces like Dudley Jr., Philo the third. Second, none of these players profile as the top receiver who consistently win against cornerback one coverage. So we everything, because there's no athlete caliber boundary dominating number one target. Because what makes like a true wide receiver good or bring? A legitimate wide receiver number one will give Fernando Mendoza reliable first read on critical downs, boundary winner who force safety help. I will tell you, a very cool threat that stretch defense, player who elevates the entire passing game. And we all lacking all these elements. In the absence of the wide receiver number one makes receiver of the top draft priorities, along for the offensive side. Because to be honest right now, the receiver room has very interesting pieces, but it's missing the centerpiece. And then the true wide receiver number one is very essential if we want to Fernando Mendoza to develop at the pace, true respect. But I don't know. We're just gonna have a type of the wide receiver. Can it do like a fits best or a contested separation rate ruling? But I think the closest safe gonna have to do is between Carnell Tate for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I would love to see that, but it's gonna be like really risky at all. And for me, I know that Carnell Tate is a true, powerful wide receiver number one. But we are lacking of leadership between wide receiver. But it seems like if we need to, we have to do it at the best right now. Because look at the current depth chart right now. Jack Bridge is wide receiver number one, but this is a possession receiver. Tough, reliable, not a coverage dictating ass. And wanted to give it at this right now, because I know there is some persons who wants to see a wide receiver number one, but they're giving a primary read on key talent. Opening space for Brock Bowers in the wrong game. We're lacking this. It's gonna be like a really physical right now, but who's gonna have it at the natural step? I mean that Carnell Tate could be the solution coming out there, but there are some points that we had to do it right now. I mean, clearly could have fit at all, because I understand he's from Ohio State Buckeyes. But he's been the size, the body, constant catch dominance, because that's exactly what we need it for. And we are really lacking the current wide receiver room. That's what we need it for. That's what we need it for. But if we can put something that very basically at all, it gets the size, the body, the control, what we need it for is a true wide receiver one. And clearly, Carnell Tate from Ohio State Buckeyes could be the perfect fit. But they bring like a complete skill that sounds like very intriguing because he has a high floor, nuance crafty route running, but Tate is not very flawless. But he's not like a pure burner, but he has a limited yards after catch explosiveness. But I think it's gonna be like a really potential. He has a true alpha traits, contest catch dominance, but he's very strong fit. Actually, one of the best additions. And they wanted to give the offense to give Fernando Mendoza the kind of primary target he currently lacks. But I just wanted to feel that we're lacking a boundary ads with a wide receiver upside. And he portrays a perfect roster in alignment. And he benefits with the separators with the strong hands, with just timing basing, later in the passing games. And he brings it all. That aligns perfectly while we lack it right now. Boundary ads receiver who can win one-on-one all over the young quarterback and young friends to adjust coming out there. That's what we need it for. That's what we need it for. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having us on this episode of Straight Outta Nation, because I brought my picks for the NFL draft for Las Vegas Raiders because we need it not only as a quarterback, but also wide receiver, number one. Also, we have offensive line, defensive line. We need to get involved more with this, who really can put and fit the system of Clint Kubiak as a new head coach. And I really like it. All right, so salute to Chad Schrader and of course AFI Raiders. Salute to you. Also Emil Andre and Dal Holland, as known as part of the Trio Two Birds. And of course, I just wanted to tell you, shout out to the Trio Two Birds who made great videos. And of course, they made it to some Philadelphia Philly, because I understand that this week is the opening day weekend with the Major League Baseball. So people are just really understand that, well, I'm not able to cover baseball because I know the baseball is from March to September. It's going to be like, I don't know, some 8 months and all the craziness, explosiveness. But I'm really excited to make a breakdown all these athletes that I really want for Las Vegas Raiders for the 2026 NFL draft. And it's going to happen. And it's going to happen right now. All right, so guys, I'm out of here. So make sure to subscribe to Capitán Rafucho. Follow me on different social media, Instagram, Kick, and TikTok at Capitán Rafucho 93.
Mucho gusto.
And of course, if you want to help and support the stream, this platform, you can make a donation by Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. All financial help is welcome. Now, tonight, I'm going to bring some NBA games. Which one is going to be really interesting right now. So I'm going to bring Cleveland Cavaliers versus Miami Heat. It's going to be in Spanish. So thank you very much. I hope to see you there next time in another episode of Straight Outta Nation. Stand the fuck out, because this is Straight Outta Nation. This ain't just a Raiders podcast. It's just a war room for soccer, football, and basketball. So thank you very much, and I hope you see you there next time. And I hope to see you there later with the NBA game between Miami Heat versus Cleveland Cavaliers. And tomorrow, I'm going to bring the fight commentary between Israel Zendaya versus Joe Pyfer at UFC Fight Night in Seattle on my YouTube channel, Capitán Rafucho. Now, all the regrets, go to you and have a great Friday.